on the marketing and communications team here at Arts Umbrella. And first, before I introduce our very special guest today, I would like to acknowledge that I'm hosting this interview at Arts Umbrella Granville Island, which is situated on the unceded, ancestral and traditional territories of the Coast Salish peoples, so Musqueam, Squamish and Tsleil-Waututh peoples. So I'm here today with Jai, who is a former Arts Umbrella student, and Suzy, who is a Arts Umbrella instructor. So Jai and Suzy, would you like to introduce yourselves a bit more? Maybe Jai, if you want to go first.
Sure. My name is Jai Sallay-Carrington. I grew up in Vancouver. I spent the last 10 years living in Montreal, and then I just finished my master's at University of Washington in Seattle. And yeah, I'm a practicing ceramic artist, professional at this point, I guess.
I don't know where to start. Let's see. I have been actually teaching at Arts Umbrella since my son was 3 months old. So I've been teaching there for 33 years. I teach clay sculpture and I teach drawing and painting. I've had probably thousands of students. One of my stellar, fabulous students is Jai Sallay-Carrington. Amongst others, but this one is working with clay, and I just couldn't be more thrilled. Myself, I have my own studio practice. I have 2 studios, a clay studio in my house in Kipps, and a drawing and painting studio and showroom at 1000 Parker Street. And so I'm very much a practicing ceramic artist and painter, as well as.
Well, I'm honored to be sharing the space with such incredible artists. So do you both remember where you met, like the first class, the program that you had together?
I mean, I was about 9, so I have a bunch of memories of being in Suzy's classes at Arts Umbrella when I was young, but I don't remember specifics. Suzy, do you have any specific memories of?
I feel like you were 6.
Was I 6?
feel like you were younger. I picture a little girl at a table, at the low tables in the old school, and we're doing clay. And you're like extremely focused on that material. That is what
Nothing has changed. And that was in 1997 then.
Yeah, that's yeah. Yeah.
And so over the years, I guess if you started as young as 6, like what programs have you been on where Suzy has been your instructor, Jai?
Oh, we did. I'm actually looking at a bunch of them on my parents' wall, but we had I was just thinking I should bring them down, but they're really high up. But we did Frida Kahlo, we did Matisse, we did this project where we built these the front of these houses inspired by this specific village somewhere in Africa. All of these incredible, all of these like incredible projects that we worked on, and I can see them all throughout the house. I did built Sunday, my old dog, when we were a kid. These animal faces are like a bunch of animals combined, all these things. I have walls of projects that we built in Suzy's classes. And my 2 younger sisters, I think, both took classes with you for a little bit.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome that you still have all of them as well.
Oh, yeah. My mom doesn't throw at anything.
Oh.
Jai, can you focus your camera on the wall?
Yeah, it's right behind me. Oh, let's see, you can.
You won't believe this.
I mean, you won't. I don't know how much you can see, but there's those ones.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you get an idea of some of them. That's not even all of them. Oh,
They're all over the house.
I made these ones, I think. That's the one. I made that in your class when I was probably like 8 or something.
Wow. Are these memories all flooding back to you, Suzy?
Well, there are memories for sure. I go to their house, so I see this work and I've seen the progress. But it's not, we're very current, Jai and I. I mean, we had a visit yesterday. Every time Jai comes to town, we have a visit or a few visits. So yes, there's the memories, but there's also what's very current right now, what we're both doing. So it's really awesome. Like it's developed into, I don't know, you're like, well, she calls me her art mom. I can say that in public.
Yeah, I've been saying it publicly. We in my family call Suzy my art mom.
Yes. So it's current and it's past and, it's going to be future and it's all kind of really beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's so incredible. And Jai, what got you into clay sculpture to start with? Where did that interest come in?
Well, I always needed, my mom told me that I was happiest when I had like an art material in my hand. And so even at like, as soon as I could hold a crayon or something, I was just in the corner drawing for hours and hours. And I was the easiest kid because I would just sit there and I was so focused on doing whatever art I was doing. If I had no paper, it would be the walls, unfortunately, for my parents. And so I think they pretty clearly thought like, okay, we need to focus this. And so I just got put into a ton of art classes. I also took a painting class with, was it Adrian? Uh,
Andre.
Andre, and then I took a woodworking class. I've been finding all these projects in my mom's basement. We had to throw out a bunch of them because they're all broken and old. I found one, I just took one of the ones off the shelves. So like doing stuff like this was just a way to really focus that energy. And I mean, clearly nothing has changed because I will accidentally spend like 14 hours a day in the studio because I just love doing it so much. And so I just, and I discovered clay when I took Suzy's classes, and I just loved that you could turn it into anything, like any texture, any form. I was always obsessed with animals forever. And so the fact I could make animals or draw animals into the clay was just my favorite thing. And it was something that painting or wood couldn't necessarily accomplish because I wanted to like make the real thing, wanted to build it. And yeah, so that seemed to really scratch that itch. And then 30, I mean, I'm 32 now, so whatever, like later, I'm still doing it.
And Suzy, can you speak to Jay's progress over the years?
Well, I think the progress is very much an ongoing progress, right? It doesn't stop. So, you have this kid who loves to work and is focused and hearing what you say and interpreting it and making it their own. And then, Jay continued with Arts Umbrella and then taking classes with me at my studio. And that was happening, I think, till you go off to university, and then studying at Emily Carr for a while, for a couple of years, moving to Montreal, working with some amazing people in Montreal, and then the work starts to really develop. All those animal forms start to really become not just the animal forms, but well, as a little background thing, Jay's house is filled with actual animals. Her mom is a rescue person of animals, and Jay took a pet rabbit to Montreal to live in her house, right? So in her bedroom. So like we're talking about somebody who really, really is intrinsically engaged in animals and animal rights in every kind of way, and mythologically as well. So then, the work starts to change and grow into something bigger and more. Then upon graduation, Jay's mom, or close to graduation, as a graduation present, Jay's mom sent Jay and her sister with me to Greece to do my workshop in Skopelos, where Jay wowed everybody with their amazing work and made this incredible goat piece that was related to Skopelos and a symbol of Skopelos. And it was bought by, what was the foundation, Jay? I don't remember, but anyways.
Center of Health or something.
Yeah, something. Anyways, so it's in that permanent collection. And we also traveled we were in Crete together, weren't we? No, we were in Santorini. We were in Santorini together. Yeah. Yeah. So, experiencing the art that is happening in Santorini and in Athens. So there was all of that. And then Jay continued to work in Montreal and have a number of shows, do artist residencies in a number of different places. Then anyhow, go for your master's degree at University of Washington, where you have some huge accomplishments, like being in some permanent collections, including at the university, including with major collectors. But the work keeps growing, right? Like there was a figurative piece that was done in your first year in Montreal, right? That's a self-portrait piece of yourself turning into a bird. Am I right?
The heron, yeah, the one that lives in my parents.
That one on the dining room table, yeah. and then to these great big huge life-size pieces, which was what your project was about for going to that university. And now you're off to Baltimore Clayworks. So the work just keeps growing, and as Jay is growing and as Jay's concerns are growing around everything that you can talk about, the work is very personally based as well as universally based. And I think that that's something that we both share in our work, and that I definitely recognize in your work and feel proud of.
Oh, thanks. Having and then like bringing it all back to you. I mean, having a teacher from when I was such a young age and seeing your drive, because like I mean, I go into your home and see all this work from all the years that you've been creating, and like in those classes and just seeing the interest you have. I mean, like it's because of you that I'm also now obsessed with Frida. I went to an exhibition about her in Quebec City and just thought of you the whole time, and I was like, oh, this is because of Suzy. Um, and so having just being surrounded by that drive and that passion that you have at a young age really like showed me that it's possible to be an artist. I mean, like I love teaching also. And so and that probably came from teaching these classes with you and seeing how you teach them. And now like, yeah, I'm a practicing artist. I'm a teacher. I've been teaching universities and I travel teaching workshops and stuff. And yeah, a lot of it comes back to like the amount of years I spent seeing you do these things. And so it was really cool having such an amazing like mentor and just like role model in this ways. I don't know any other practicing artist who's, like living with your art everywhere and having it take you places, and you get to go to Greece because of it for like 5 years or 8 years or something. So pretty cool. Yeah.
Also the travel bug, right? You saw
Oh,
all
the travel bug. Oh
travel.
yes, I'm itching for another one.
Yeah, you're all over the place. Yeah.
Wow. And so what do you think it's been that's kind of, you've gone from this student teacher relationship to now like a peer-to-peer relationship. Like, what do you think it's been that really sparked that, or that continues it to keep, progressing as you both go off and do your separate things now that you're not directly connected by Arts Umbrella?
It's funny going from a student mentor relationship, and now we're friends. Now you're like my art mom. And now I go over for like an hour, we hang out, and then we spend 4 hours just talking and, drinking wine and or tea or and coffee, whatever time of day. And I think it's both a combination of the interest in specifically ceramics and the history that we have. And so we have this connection where we can talk for a long time, and we're both really interested. Like we've been swapping books for a while, and I go over and I get to see all these like amazing huge books that you have of these incredible artists, and we'll just like talk about all the stuff. Like you went to the Venice Biennale, and then you showed me all these incredible artworks that you saw there, and then I just lent you some books of the Black American ceramic artists, and we just like ogled over all of their work. And so I think having someone who's equally as obsessed with clay as I am, and then we have this whole history because you're like family at this point. So it's like, oh, we can talk about all this stuff, and then our personal lives also. We just like chat for a long time. So yeah, it definitely just turned into a friendship too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I would say that for me, it's really interesting because I've lived in Vancouver for a long time, and except for my travels, this is where I live, and I'm settled into a family and my husband of 44 years as of the other day, and our children, and so I'm hooked into my house and that whole environment that Jay talks about. Jay is doing things that didn't exist very much when I was young. There was no BFA program in Vancouver, certainly not in Canada, except for Nova Scotia. And we weren't about to move to Nova Scotia. There weren't many master's degrees anywhere except in the United States. And even, we weren't going to do that. We were settled into here. All these artist residencies that are happening, I was too settled, not too, but I was too settled into my life and my family and my studios and maintaining a house, all that jazz. And Jay's doing that stuff. Like, it's so cool for me to see that. And, I remember a time where, I don't know if you know this, Jay, where your mom and I went out to the club and had a dinner, and she was asking me about, what do we do to support Jay? Not like financially. What do we do to support Jay in this difficult road that she has ahead? And I just kind of laid it all out, like all the things that I would do if I had those opportunities and if it was my time to be doing that. And you're doing all those things. So for me, it's really like, it's exciting. It's not exciting like vicariously exciting. It's just like super exciting to see it happening, and to always see that we always have this connection because we've known each other for so many years. It's so beautiful. So, I have children and I've taught all these children. I've taught adults as well, but I've taught, probably thousands of children. And I have my own children and now I have my own grandchildren. And Jay is like, one of my children, right? Who's actually doing something that I love to do. My children aren't doing this kind of work, and not that many Arts Umbrella students continue doing this kind of work. They do other creative, really amazing work, not necessarily working with clay, not necessarily being a sculptor or a figurative sculptor with a kind of mythological and all the current things base. Not so much. So it's really exciting for me.
Wow, it's definitely such like a beautiful like relationship and connection that you guys share, and like you were saying, like shared values and passions and
Yeah.
interests, and that's really, really incredible.
We both have some pretty busy lives coming up in the near future. I'm working towards a solo exhibit and some group shows. So I'm working on that and also doing paintings for that work. So that's, within the next couple of years. And Jay, you are,
I'm moving to Baltimore for a year to do a residency, and I actually just this morning made it public. I'm doing a call for trans models. As a trans non-binary person, I'm doing this big call, and I'm gonna model a whole bunch of trans people. It's called Trans Passions, and it's a super ambitious project, and I'm a little nervous about it because it's going to involve like between 20 and 30 people maybe. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be busy for the next year.
Wow,
yeah.
That's so exciting. Congratulations.
And
Yeah.
my solo show is called Ladies Not Waiting, and I'm going to be putting together 2 bodies of work that I've been working on for the last 5 years or something, of art historical figures that I see as my creative mentors. I didn't have a Suzy mentor. I had some teachers that I adored, but it's not the same kind of relationship as what Jay and I have. And so I think that I look towards other artists like Frida Kahlo, for example, or Leonora Carrington, who I never met, but whose artwork I'm familiar with, or their places of residence I'm very familiar with. And I've done a ton of research on people like them. And so my work is about that, and combining that work with self-portrait kinds of pieces that draw upon my own life and my relationship with my mother and family and things like that. So yeah, we'll see where all that goes.
Yeah, I'm excited to see this one
For
come
both of us.
Yeah, these both sound incredible. So for people watching the interview, like where can they like follow you on social media, or do you have websites where they can, once you are in motion with these projects, that they can see them happening?
I do have a website. It's my name, SuzyBirstein.com. I'm on Instagram, Suzy_Birstein. I'm on Facebook. And I'm kind of around a lot.
Nice. And I have a website, JS Creatures, J like the letter, JS Creatures at .com. And then same thing with my Instagram, JS Creatures. And there you can find all kinds of updates and the stuff that I'm doing regularly, and shop and stuff like that.
Oh, and I also am part of the Culture Crawl at 1000 Parker Street. And that's in November, and Parker Art Salon. So I do those things as well. Yeah.
Awesome. That's so great. Thank you. And my final question for you both is, for budding ceramic sculpture artists, what would your advice be for young people who are looking to tap into like this as a hobby or as a career? What would your main advice be for them?
I think something, I get asked this question a lot. I was just in a university surrounded by students, and so a lot of them were asking me. And I think my biggest advice would be take chances. If you're not pushing yourself or putting yourself in, I'm not going to say scary situations, but when I went and did my first residency, I was terrified, and then I've been doing them for the last like 7 years, and that skyrocketed me into a whole nother place. But I took a risk. I traveled to somewhere I'd never been before, and so take risks and take advantage of the opportunities that present themselves, because oftentimes you do one opportunity, it'll lead to another one. And so you just got to try.
I think also to follow your bliss. I know that that's a Joseph Campbell expression, but I do think that that's important. I think you have to know who you are or discover who you are and feel free to discover it through your own creativity and through the art that is genuinely meaningful to you in your heart of hearts. And I think that if you do that, if you truly do that, regardless of what else is going on in the world, if that is your, and you be aware of what else is going on in the world, but what you need is that strong core inside of you that takes you to be able to have the confidence to take risks. You need to do that and not talk yourself out of it, not let other people talk yourself out of it. And then you start to move forward.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you both so much. And you know, that advice is so valuable coming from two incredible artists such as yourselves. So really appreciate those wise words of wisdom there. And did you, either of you, have anything that you would like to add today that maybe we didn't touch on, or any further words of advice or anything like that?
I would say thank you for the interview. I would say thank you for the opportunity to publicly express this special relationship, um, which is not just between Jay and myself. It is in this context, but it is also something that happens at Arts Umbrella. I would say thank you to Arts Umbrella, quite honestly, from my heart of hearts, where I'm always treated with the utmost respect and love from pretty much everybody, right from the top of right from Carol Enriquez and Paul Lerock to the tiniest student and their parents. Like, it is such a beautiful opportunity and experience. And Jay and I have this special relationship, but I think other instructors also know children for a long time. Like, if you were to speak with Andre, I don't know how many people continue, seeing a lot of their students well past the time that they're out of Arts Umbrella. But I have a number of students, not necessarily becoming artists, although they are in the film world and in the video world, in the theater world, in the engineering world, doctors, lawyers, people working in government, like just all kinds of incredible children that I have taught for, a good 10 years. And there may be 5 years out of school, 10 years out of school now. It's incredible. And I have these ongoing relationships. Some of them work at Arts Umbrella. Some become my assistants. Some are in admin right now. Thank you.
Well, thank you for fostering that creative energy. I mean, having a space to express that creativity when you're young, you can really, just trying stuff and feeling safe to explore the creative side. It's pretty cool.
Aw.
Love.
That's incredible. And thank you both so much for coming on here today and sharing, what's like your personal stories, journeys, relationship, advice. Like really appreciate it. And I really hope that this chat goes on to inspire many other people in whatever they go on to do or are doing in their lives right now. But yeah, thank you both so much.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
so
having me.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'll see you really soon,
Bye.
Suzy. See you. Really wonderful to meet you.